Welcome back to Hannity, and welcome all of you. What a great crowd we have tonight. Great to see you all. Back with our live audience tonight. Panic in New York City over the influx of illegal immigrants, and now an overflow. Public schools open today in New York City, and this new inundation of children in the public school system in New York, it is way out of control. They had no idea how to handle it. Nobody knew who was in charge. And many of these children, by the way, do not speak English, putting massive stress on what is an already failing school system. Wow, great job, Mayor Adams. Let's give him, okay. Anyway, I agree. Curtis Sliwa has a lot to say. He'll be here tonight. The Democratic mayor of this once proud sanctuary city, he's now worried that so-called asylum seekers are going to destroy New York City forever. We have full coverage tonight. Also, but first I want to begin with this. I've been talking a lot about a canary in a coal mine as it relates to Joe Biden, your president. He does not know that tonight is Thursday. But for those of him around him that do know, watch closely, because some of Joe's biggest allies in the media mob, which is nothing other than an extension of the White House press room, they're now starting to turn on the man that they helped elect. Remember the Biden candidate protection program and the presidential protection program and deny that Hunter's laptop is very real program? Well, we predicted that when America's overpaid fake news journalists, they're really talk show hosts like me, except they're not honest enough to say so. And I said so, by the way. You know, they say they accurately are covering Biden's massive cognitive decline and corruption. They have up till now been avoiding it. And allegations that the big guy is in big trouble. Buckle up, because now even fake news, CNN, is starting to tell a little bit of truth. They're beginning to even sound a little like yours truly. Take a look.
This morning, we have brand new CNN polling. The numbers are looking rough for President Biden. We've been talking about it all morning, and the fact that it could be a troubling sign for Democrats and the president's hope for re-election in 2024.
There is no way to spin this. CNN reads the country's mood right now and finds that America is deeply unhappy with Joe Biden. Most Democratic voters hope for a change at the top of the ticket, and Americans don't take the president at his word when he talks about his son, Hunter.
Joe Biden's like that grandpa that you love, that you believe in, you owe a lot, but you start to wonder, would you give this grandpa a high-stress job for 6 more years, or would you want something else for him?
55% of Americans, a majority, believe Biden's actions related to the Hunter Biden probe inappropriate.
Oof, problematic new polling numbers out this morning for President Biden. The CNN poll finds his approval rating sinking to just 39%.
Wow. Uh-oh. That's right. Biden is now polling at 39%. That's a level that only Jimmy Carter matched. Now, nearly 60% believe that his policies have now made our economy worse. Why? 61% of our fellow Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Average American now owes $54,000 in debt. 58%, and again, a CNN poll, don't like Biden personally. What's to like? They think he's a bad person and unlikable. A whopping 76% are worried about Biden's ability to even serve another term justifiably. 67% of Democrats, they wish they could have someone else other than Biden leading the ticket. And despite Biden's many, many lies, over 60% of voters think that Biden was involved with his son's business dealings abroad that brought in tens of billions of dollars for Hunter and company with no experience at all whatsoever. They believe Joe was involved. A large plurality now believe that Joe Biden actually broke the law. On this program, we have long highlighted Joe Biden's serious misconduct. And get this, no one in the media mob has ever really rebuked our coverage. Remember very early on, I started to say he was weak and frail and a cognitive mess. Yeah, I didn't get much criticism for that. And I talked about Joe Milky at night, warm Milky and sippy cup and going night-night. And if he was really good, he'd get some ice cream before he goes night-night. Anyway, because everybody with eyes to see knows that it is true. But for years, they just simply ignored what was transparent and obvious to every person. And that is, they did this to protect the big guy. And, of course, obsessively, compulsively hate Trump every second, every minute, every hour of every day, every week, every month, every year. Now, all of this despite a huge amount of evidence that Joe Biden committed really serious crimes. Then, of course, we have the Joe Biden bribery, money laundering allegations. Now we have photographic evidence of him meeting with some of Hunter's business partners, having lunch with some of them, Cafe Milano, oligarchs from Russia, Kazakhstan, elsewhere, 20 phone calls that Devin Archer talked about. We got eyewitness testimony. We've got texts. We've got emails that Joe benefited financially from all this, and a very lengthy paper trail showing possible money laundering. And of course, look at the amount of money we're talking about. Not a couple of $1,000s. We're talking about tens and tens of millions of dollars funneled to 9 family members of Joe Biden through shady shell corporations, according to House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer. Hunter Biden and his sketchy overseas business deals with China and Russia and Romania and Kazakhstan and Ukraine and Mexico and all these other countries, all these foreign business deals were at the center of it all. And yet Joe Biden's weaponized DOJ, they were ready to sweep it all right under the rug. But now even fake news, CNN, they're starting to sound a lot like this program, more and more. By the way, I'd like to thank them for watching, but they should give attribution for getting the story right to us. Take a look.
DOJ has given me whiplash on this one because 6 weeks ago they did walk into court and they were ready to get rid of this case for a misdemeanor and dismiss the gun charge. Now they're about to indict him for a felony gun charge, which would likely carry jail time if there's a conviction. The only conclusion that I think is consistent with all this is that the whistleblowers were right, that initially DOJ was ready to go in there and give this deal away cheaply. And when the political pressure amped up, DOJ did a complete 180.
All right, if you're keeping track, CNN is now essentially admitting that the Joe Biden bribery, money laundering allegation scandal is very real. They are also accusing Joe Biden's Department of Justice, part of his executive branch. They're accusing them of trying to cover it up to protect the Biden family. And, of course, they're also heavily suggesting, yeah, Joe is way too old and too cognitively impaired to run for a second term. CNN took one look at their poll and saw the writing now may be on the wall. They're abandoning ship. Are they the first of many? That's the question. What prominent elected Democrat will follow suit? What other Democrats will follow the example? If any Democratic lawmakers or governors start openly questioning Joe Biden's ethics, his family business, the millions of dollars for seemingly no work but for influence peddling, and whether or not bribery and money laundering are involved, if they start questioning whether or not he's fit for office, his days as a candidate in the 2024 race, they are now numbered. Let's be clear here. According to my sources, they've already been trashing Biden behind closed doors. No one in the Democratic Party seems to like Joe Biden. They all see what we see. They're just, as of now, not saying it publicly. And by the way, that includes his vice president, Kamala Harris. And by the way, she doesn't look mentally capable herself of doing a good job. Everyone knows he's a congenital liar. He's a plagiarizer. He's also a narcissist who would do pretty much anything for a buck or a little prestige. And the way that he treated his own granddaughter in Arkansas, not recognizing this innocent girl for over 4 years, pretty repulsive and pretty disgusting. She's an innocent young girl. No birthday cards, no invites to the White House. And by the way, even the family dog that bit Secret Service agents got a personalized ornament on the Joe Biden Christmas tree before this little girl did. Joe Biden, the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, they have been a national disgrace. Every policy they implement is creating more pain for the American people. It's no wonder Joe completed the DOJ's transformation into an arm of the Democratic Party. He knew he'd need that. He doesn't have any character or ethics and probably couldn't even recite a single line from our Constitution. And the media mob, they know that too, and they've been ignoring it up till now. But that is now beginning to change. And the bad news for Joe Biden, well, in just a moment, John Solomon has more breaking news on this family enterprise, as they say in Fulton County, or syndicate. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.